Me? Am I audible? All right, good afternoon. How's everybody doing? That's not enough. That is not energetic, you know? How's everybody doing? Amazing. Who's excited for lunch? A lot of you folks, right? So I just stand in between you folks and lunch, all right? So I feel terrible about just standing here and holding you folks off for lunch, all right? But before we go to lunch, we need a lot of energy because we're gonna get through this very quickly, of course, because I don't wanna hold you guys back. But for now, can you folks do one thing for me? Please get up. Everybody get off of your seats. All right. Now, I encourage you guys to do a power stance, right? Whatever you think is powerful. Right? Take up a lot of space and see how you can do a power pose, right? Whatever you think is powerful, all right? So you could do this, right? You could do this. You could do whatever you want, right? Just take up a lot of space, all right? Take up a lot of space and do a power pose, all right? I want to see a lot of people do it, right? Some people are not doing it. Power pose, power pose, all right? Can anybody do like a power pose? All right, you'll automatically feel more confident. The reason I'm making you folks do it is because I also feel confident doing it, all right? So thank you again, and we're gonna get energized and get through this PowerPoint as soon as possible, all right? So please be seated, we're gonna get started right now. All right, so as you folks can see on the screen, some of the fonts changed magically, all right? From the one that I had initially submitted. I don't know how, but magically that changed, all right? So we'll go through with it and see how it flows. But today I'm in front of you to talk about what I believe are 4 very important G's that are important to all of your lives, all right? Because they were surely very inspiring to my life, and they really helped me tackle a lot of challenges that I had faced in my life, all right? So without further ado, we're gonna go into the 4 G's for here. A little bit about myself. As you can see, Shagotom, that's what it's supposed to say, all right? But it's a bit, unclear right now because as I told you, the fonts have changed, right? Magically, right? So we'll embrace that. And we'll flow with that, all right? So, salam, my name is Nabil Bin Arif. I'm a faculty member here at the Business School for BRACU University, and I'm also the chairman of Motivate Canada. And what we do is we actually provide youth. We have actually provided 250,000 youth support through mental health, through sports, recreation, and extracurricular involvement across Canada. And we've been there since the 90s, right? So it's a very old NGO, and I'm proud to be the first a person of color that is the chairman of this not-for-profit, all right? I am a Harvard and U of T alumnus, as you saw there, right? I don't let my universities define me, and it's just for you to know, right? But I want to define those institutions. If I do something great, I will be defining those institutions, right? Secondly, I was a valedictorian for the University of Toronto, Mississauga, and I am one of the youngest elected university governors in North America as a Bangladeshi person. A person born in Bangladesh, I'm one of the youngest ever in North America to serve on a university's board of governors. And I've had impact over several places around this planet. Obviously in Boston, obviously in Toronto, the greater Toronto area, Jakarta, Indonesia, where I used to work at UNDP, Kuala Lumpur, Mexico, where I did research on lakes of Oplan, Osaka, where I worked with Osaka Electrocommunications University for research, a few other places. I don't know where exactly. You'll see on the screen a few of them, but please come speak to me if you want to learn a bit about my experiences. I hope I have pressed the right clicker, all right? I think I did, all right? So what defines lasting impact? What defines lasting impact to you folks? When you think about lasting, timeless impact, what is it? To me, it means what you're able to give to this planet, right? To our world, through environmental causes, through social alleviations, and through business and economy, getting people opportunities and jobs, right? So, giving is something that you can't escape in this planet. You're always going to be giving, right? Whether you choose to or don't choose to, all right? You give to your family, you give to your significant other, you give to your society, you give to your employers, you give to your business. You're always going to be forced to give in this planet. That's what I truly believe, right? So if you're looking for things in return, that might not happen exactly the way you'd expect it to. But we're always giving. We're always giving whether we choose to or we don't choose to, all right? So my philosophy is that if you're going to be giving, why don't you give happily, right? Why don't we just, smile and be happy about giving, right? Because we will be giving, right? Adversities come into your life at different parts and different times, and they may dismantle a lot of your passions or whatever you expected from your lives. Any moment in life, just take a step back and imagine that you're giving happily, right? When you're donating, give it happily, right? When you're trying to help somebody, happily do it. If you're a faculty member, happily teach, because I feel like that's social empowerment as well. So whatever it is that you're doing, whether you're going to work, try to do it with utmost happiness, right? So that's what I truly believe. Joyful giving transforms lives. All right, so the 4 Gs, all right? Here again, you'll see the creative direction that I have for all the Bangla here. I just want to let you guys know that I can't read Bangla because I've been in Canada for over 20 plus years. I fully grew up there. I can't read, I can't write, I can speak somewhat. মোটামুটি ভালোভাবে কথা বলতে পারি না, all right? So that's all I know how to do, but I tried. I tried using, translators to translate these Banglas right here, all right? So the first one you'll see is grace, how we teach, how we treat people, all right? Grace. Number 2 is grit. How do we respond to adversities and how do you persevere, right? Number 3 is goodness from the heart and soul. And number 4 is gratitude, how we appreciate, all right? How we appreciate things in life. These 4 different G's really helped me get through a lot of challenges in my life. Before we go to the next slide, I actually just want to talk about one thing that I think you guys should know about me, right? I haven't shared this with not even the closest people in my life, all right? But when I moved to Canada as a young adult, as a young kid, right? I faced a lot of adversities myself, right? When I moved there, this was about 20 plus years ago, I entered a space where we didn't have a lot of people from this part of the world in Canada. Canada right now is saturated with brown people, but then there weren't a lot of brown people. So I entered a school and I was heavily bullied. I faced racism at my school, right? I was bullied heavily, all right? It led me to depression at a very young age and also made me anxious about a lot of things, all right? It's very hard for me to say this and open up on this stage that I'm very privileged to have today, but I really wanted to share that because I came out of a place where at that time, I just wished there was somebody there for me. My parents were young. My parents just immigrated there. My dad used to travel back and forth for business. I had a young brother, and my mom was occupied with that brother. I didn't want to give them a lot of stress, but I had a lot of difficulties, and I had nobody there for me. That's one of the things that drives me towards social media. That's what drives me for doing good in this world. Right? And coming from there and going through my journey, I will tell you that these 4 Gs really played an instrumental role in creating and crafting this person that you see in front of you today. All right? I have months to go, but I'm grateful to say that I've achieved certain things that I really hope to achieve at my age. Although I'm 75, that's what my students know me as. 75-year-old faculty member, all right? But in reality, I'm sure you folks probably can tell, without, AI interventions, I am probably much younger than that. All right, so we'll dive into the topic, all right? First topic here, again with cool fonts, right? So really cool fonts, right? I just want to let you know I didn't select them, but they were automatically, just became cool, all right? Grace, which means calmly leading with empathy, all right? Empathetic leaders, according to an article by Catalyst, engagement increases by 76% if you are empathetic, if you understand how another person is feeling, right? If you can understand what is going through that person's life. So if you run a business, if you work somewhere, if you go anywhere, and if you see somebody who's having a bad day, try to understand that they're probably going through something terrible, right? That's why they're having that bad day. And it's not personal towards you, right? So have that empathy where you understand that not everything is personal, and don't take anything personally in life, right? Number 2, the definition of what grace really is, as you can see right here, I'm sure some of you guys know what this is, right? It's just a chill guy, all right? What is just a chill guy? Does anybody know what a chill guy is? It's a meme, right? But a meme represents a state of calmness, all right? Any turmoils you're internally going through, you need to be under control, right? You need to be calm, you need to be collected, you need to be cool, and you need to handle and face your fears heads on, all right? So that's what this represents right now. Through any adversities in life, you just need to be chill guy, right? As you see, smoothness, refinement, and behavior are very important things, and also considering people, being considerate and politely treating people is also very important for being in the state of grace. Be graceful in whatever you do. Have that finesse, have that art, right? And make sure that you're handling any situation with a lot of grace. Okay? Just be calm. Calm your nerves. All right, so again, embodying grace, there's 4 different things here. Grace under pressure, right? Sometimes, we go through times in life when we're faced with a lot of pressure, right? But pressure, as you know, transforms diamonds, right? So you need to know that no matter how much external pressure is inflicted onto you, you need to be able to be that diamond in creation, right? You need to hold your ground, be strong enough to be able to face all of those things heads on, all right? It's about stillness, it's about calmness. If you understand a lot of different philosophies, one of the ones you can try to do every day is pray or meditate, all right? It'll make you more still, it'll make you more calm, all right? So it's very important that you're able to understand that piece. Second one is perfect balance. We'll talk about balance in a bit. I'll leave that right now. Social finesse. The difference between a very expensive craftsman versus someone who's not is that finesse. You need to be knowing how to finesse situations, right? Being that simple, chill person moving from point A to point B. Make it look easy. When people question, how is that possible? It's because you have grace. Because sometimes people will be like, how did you get that? How did you do that? How were you able to do this? Because you remain still. Because you remain graceful, right? And lastly, you'll see is strategic thinking, but that's a very basic term. We'll go into other things right now. Be fluid, all right? All of you folks use phones. Who doesn't use a phone right now? Anybody uses, I don't know, VoIP? What do you use to communicate? Can someone tell me, what do you guys use to communicate? Anybody use fax machines? No? Floppy disks to communicate ideas or thoughts? CD-ROMs? Right? Probably not. Nobody uses, walkie-talkies either. Unless you're in security services or military or something like that, right? So here, someone's using a walkie-talkie right now. I just heard that, right? But when you're using your phones, right, one thing I want you folks to know is you need to be fluid, right? That's what Apple does really well. Makes their systems very fluid so that you can easily use them, right? So in life, be a fluid person. Go with the flow, but sometimes you need to also remember how to roll, right? But for the most part, go with the flow, all right? So when you see a terrible phone, when you see software, hardware, disintegration, you have a lot of friction. So as a person, don't cause frictions. Just be chill. Know how to be fluid in life. It's very hard. I know saying it is very easy, but doing it is actually very, very difficult to do. But if you can perfect grace, if you can truly be graceful, you'll go really far in life. All right. Butterfly from the outside. What does this photo represent? What? Grace. It's graceful because it's a beautiful butterfly, right? Just flowing through life, right? In a garden, very peaceful in a zen environment. It's just chilling, right? So from the outside, you need to be a butterfly, all right? You need to be flowing like a butterfly. But inside, you'll have to be a beast. And that brings me to the next point, all right? That's about grit, hunger, desire inside of you, right? That nobody should be able to see because you have grace. But inside of you, you need to be a beast, all right? If you want to achieve greatness, if you really want to get things done, people shouldn't be able to tell that you have that much drive and motivation because you're graceful, right? But inside you have to be a beast. If you want to get things done, you need to move mountains. You need to be resilient. And you need to be a beast inside to get anything done. If you're working at a company, if you want to push through and break through those expectations you have, you need to be a beast. You need to go out there, face your fears, and crush it. All right? Crush it. That's what this represents right here. But again, do you remember this? This is very important too. Or else you'll just be an untamed beast. And you don't want to be an untamed beast. Internally, you can be to yourself. Right? That's how you challenge yourself. All right, so let's keep moving. Be good for people's nervous systems, all right? It's a very small thing that I was thinking about, right? But if you can do one thing in life, just be easy on people's nervous systems, right? And to their heart. Nervous system and heart. If you do those things okay, you're gonna be okay in every system, every place. If you're serving your customers, if you are okay on people's nervous systems, you can calm people down, de-escalate situations, you're gonna be perfectly fine. You're selling a product, you'll be great if you can calm down people's nervous systems. If you can connect to their hearts and calm down their nervous systems, these are hacks to be able to do great things in life, all right? So understand that you don't want to be a burden on anybody's nervous system, all right? Just remember, anybody, your friends, your family members, your colleagues, anybody that you're dealing with, don't put pressure onto their nervous systems, all right? Our nerves are very fragile, all right? And not everybody is graceful. So you need to be a savage inside, right? But you need to be that butterfly externally, right? To crush it. All right, I need to go back to my red dot, my kill shot zone right here. All right. Okay, let's go to the next place. The resilience to overcome. Right? You see this photo right here, right? What does it represent? It represents breaking through a barrier, right? Unhinged, going through and crushing it, demolishing situations. Students in Bangladesh have shown how resilient they are, and you need to be graceful and resilient to make it all work, right? You need to find the puzzles. You can't only be, just going through barriers and crushing it, right? You also need to have that grace to be able to take it a step further, right? So do be this with yourself. It shows that, grit actually predicts success better than IQ. You can be a very intelligent person, but without grit, without that hunger and drive inside of you, you can't really move mountains, and you want to be able to move mountains. Whoever students that I teach that are probably here, they know that I want the best for you folks to be able to crush it, right? To be able to go in and become the best versions of yourself. Remember one thing, all right? I'm saying a lot of different things here, but remember one thing, that your success is to you, all right? The definition, universal definition of success, there's no such thing, right? I can say that a lot of your parents are very successful because they've managed to send their kids to one of the best institutions in Bangladesh, right? So success is to you. Your competition is within yourself, right? We're not blessed, everybody's blessed with different things in life, right? You need to make the most out of your resources and be success and define your own success. If you can't do that for yourself, if you look at other people who's doing this or that, that's not the way to go. You need to look within yourself and be like, whatever resources I have, how can I make the most out of it? How can I be the most efficient with my own resources? All right, that's very important. Okay. Don't compete with other people, compete within yourselves. All right, that's very, very, very important. On life, there's no end to competition. So if you want to be a rat, being in that rat race, you can. You can be your journal. If I'm working somewhere, if I'm studying somewhere, if I'm doing this or that, and this is my goal, and that is my goal, I need to be able to achieve those goals. If someone else does something, praise for them. Praise them, be grateful for them, pray for them, right? If you see somebody else doing great things, be grateful to them, because they have shown something probably you can learn from, right? But that's not your competition. Your competition is yourself, right? Yesterday, how I was, and today, how I am, right? And tomorrow, how I will be. All right, create an action. Float like a butterfly, sting like a bee. Has anybody heard that?
Yes, sir.
Right? What does that mean? That represents these two things very well. Grit, number one, and number two is grace. Right? For be graceful, but be great. Right? Two different G's that are very important. All right? But these G's right here, with Muhammad Ali and everybody else here, right? They're just two segments. Right? They're very important segments, but they're two segments. There's two more we need to go through. Right? So the next one that I bring to the table, as you can see here, you have grit, you have grace, you need to have values, morals, and ethics. Right? Values, morals, and ethics. Just remember those three things, values, morals, and ethics. Whenever you're faced with an adversity, values, morals, and ethics. Okay? That leads me to my next point, which is goodness, foundation of true influence. Right? Being good, being a good person, right? Who here is a good person? Nobody, right? Some people raise their hands. I think you need to strive to be good then, right? I generally think people, if they really want to be good, they can truly be good, because I think most people are good. Most people are born good, right? Most people are generally good. That's what I truly believe. And if I feel like someone leveraged me to do something great, good for them. I still think they're a good person, right? Maybe my purpose in life is to help people be better. It could be, right? It could be. And always count your blessings as well. We'll go to those things after. But goodness can boost trust and connections, but that's just a research that's saying it. Goodness can actually be just good for you. As simple as that. Goodness just means good for you. You can just be a good person. Just a good, decent human being. It doesn't take too much. Trust me, it doesn't take too much. Morals, values, ethics. Choosing the right path always, right? Try to be as righteous as you possibly can be in your journey through life. You know, I have lived probably half of my life already, right? And you guys probably have lived a good amount of your lives as well. You have to just remember, one day, you won't be here anymore. But if you're a good person, if you're truly good, you try to help people, try to do good things for the most part. Impact, I heard somebody else speak earlier, talk about impact, and it could be marginal, it could be very small. It's true. Not everybody's going to be giving as a billionaire. Not everybody will be a billionaire like Steve Jobs giving, charity or be a philanthropist, right? You can give anything you have. You can give your time, you can give your resources, you can give your hands when someone's crossing the road. Try to do anything, one thing that's good, and you're going to feel really good, Sometimes I hear my students talk about how they care about their parents and they want their parents to be okay. I think there's no more goodness than that, right? I think that's amazing. I know some students that talked about taking care of their younger sisters or brothers. I think that's amazing. So just be good for the most part, right? And next we'll actually talk about something quite interesting, which is about nice and good. Where is nice? All right, we have one person who's nice. Good for you. I'm really proud of you for being nice. Okay, here we'll talk about the definition. Nice is conditional kindness, and you have ulterior motives. I can choose to be nice to whoever I want to be nice to. Right? If I need something, I can be nice to someone. Right? But goodness is something very different. Goodness means that you have no ulterior motives. Your consistent moral integrity is never in question, and regardless of your circumstances, you're always good. Even if you can't find one benefit from it, you're always good. You're genuinely a good person. Right? Nice, anybody can be. Anybody can be nice. Even the worst human beings can be nice to somebody they need to be nice to. Right? But it's not about niceness, it's about goodness. Goodness from the heart, from the soul. All right, now we're going to talk about our fourth important G. Right? Out of the three G's, we've covered the three G's. Very important G's, right? Now we need to get to LTE, right? With the fourth G in the next step. Gratitude, right? Gratitude. We are gifted with arms, with legs, with vision, with hearing, with a heart that beats, right? With everything. So someone with so many blessings shouldn't have a lot to complain about. I know Bangladesh as a nation, we're an underserved nation, we are an emerging nation, but you need to have that attitude where you're very grateful for what you have. You may not be able to have something, all right? Some of my friends and some of my even my students, some of my personal contacts, they know that a couple of weeks ago, or like a few weeks ago, I had a concussion, right? Playing basketball, right? It wasn't anything serious. It wasn't like a championship that I was playing in, right? I was playing in a very small competition, right? Whatever. But okay, someone's knee rammed into my head, like right here, all right? And for a good amount of time, I lost consciousness, all right? Like 20, 30 seconds. Then I went to the hospital, and I felt like I was gonna die, right? I literally felt like I was gonna die, because I couldn't comprehend. I really couldn't comprehend. I was like, what happens if this is all gone, right? What happens? That should make you realize that every part of you has value. Your mind, your mouth, your ears, your eyes, everything. So you have a lot to be grateful for, a lot. So understand what you have and really be grateful for what you have, for your family, for yourselves, for everything. Enhances productivity by 50%. That's what Forbes says. That's just a stat. I believe in stats, and that's cool, right? But generally, think about it this way. The more grateful you are, the better you will feel eternally as well. So try to understand that you have a lot. All of you, each and every one of you here, have a lot. Have a lot. Once you feel like you were scared of losing something in your life, like a leg, for example, I'm sure some people have ACL injuries, this, that. You realize what you would have been missing if you didn't have a leg. Am I right or am I wrong? What's the feedback? Why is everybody dead? I know there's food. I know there's food. I know khabar is very important. Lunch, right? I know you guys are hungry, but have that internal hunger inside of you to drive that change, right? Be gritty as well. Acha. Profound appreciation for possessions and relationships. Value every relationship you have. You know, do good for your neighbors, do good for your people around you. Try to help whoever you can. Because trust me, sometimes you are that blessing in somebody else's life. You know, and your time will come. Trust me. Don't worry about you. You're the last person you should worry about. Trust me. Trust me on this. Recognize abundance in every situation. If something doesn't work out for you, trust me, there's something better coming for you. Just have that faith. Have that faith. I've seen this over and over and over and over and over in my life. Right? And you see that glass, right? This is a very basic analogy, right? That's something anybody could give you. Right? Always look at the glass 75% full, because that's not half, right? That's probably 80% full, right? That's what matters. That water matters. Khali jagah is just noise, right? What you could have been, should have been, would have been is not the most important thing. Trust me. It's about what you are. It's about who you are. It's about what you have come, how far you've come. And if other people cannot see it, let it be. You need to see it for yourself. You need to pat yourself on the back and see it for yourself. Okay? All right. Now, recognize all the gifts, as I mentioned earlier. Patience and challenges. Gratitude and prosperity, right? When you've been blessed with a lot, be grateful. Because anything that you have can be taken away from you. Any time, any day, anything can happen to you. Kintu, when you're having a bad day, when you're having a bad week, it doesn't mean that you have a bad life, right? Don't make impulse decisions on a bad day, right? Just let it be. Let it sink in. Let it be okay for that day. Kintu, life will turn around. Life will turn around. Just have that patience. On your bad days, patience. On your good days, gratitude. Solution to life. 2 things, if you take away from this, it's good days, gratitude, bad days, patience. Your time will come. You will have whatever you strive to be or what you want from life. You are going to get it one time, one day. Maybe you're figuring out, right now for a lot of students, you're figuring out, where am I going to work, right? I went through a lot of different areas, different fields, to work in different spaces, right? To having gone to Harvard, to having worked at UNDP, to work in Canada. I never would have thought I would be in Bangladesh right now, but you know what? I'm very grateful to be here. You know, people like us need to come back to make this country a better place. I'm not talking about myself, I'm talking about whoever else is part of that equation. You know, that's important. So I have a purpose to serve. That's how I look at it. You know, I could have built my career in Indonesia, in Canada, in America, wherever else, but I'm here now. And I want to do the best with what I've been given and what I've been gifted with. You see this thing right here? What does this mean? You see a rainbow and you see some clouds. What is this? I'm also a painter. I painted this. I'm just kidding. This is AI. All right. So you see up there, you see clouds, right? And you see a rainbow coming out of it. And then without clouds, without rain, you cannot like grow flowers, can you? Can you grow fruits? Fruits still last. You cannot grow plants. Plants need sunshine, needs rain, needs everything to grow and prosper. So in life, when you have a bad day, it's meant to serve a purpose. When you have a good day, it's also to test. All right, how does this person become when he has this influence or whatever they have? Okay. So remember those things. Those are very important things. Take action now. All right. Take action now. Right. Like I'm forcing you to take action. You can take action later too. All right. You can finish this talk, have lunch, and then take action. All right. But one thing I want you to do, right, is message somebody and tell them how grateful you are to them. Right? It could be your mom, dad, brother, sister, guardian, friend, whoever it is. You know, I'm inspired by a lot of people. I take inspiration from every single person that is surrounded by me, or that surrounds me. All right? Some of them are in this audience as well, right? And vice versa. That's how life should be, right? It's not competition, it's about collaboration. And it's really figuring out our life, our best optimized version of people, right? That's what I want to leave you with. This is a photo of me a few months ago when the floods happened. I had the great privilege of going to Kumila to be able to serve some people there. Although it was very tumultuous, it led me to new experiences in life. So I wanted to share that photo about how much that meant to me to be able to contribute financially to contribute on a physical, as someone who was very uncomfortable with these situations, right? Coming from Canada, making that transition to going to a village and supporting people in the grassroots. I'm very grateful and honored for that opportunity that I've had and to be able to support whoever I've been able to support, right? One last thing I'm gonna remind you of is you're not defined by your past, right? You're not defined by your past. Either your parents, grandparents, their parents, someone had to take risk. Someone had to be pretty. Someone had to be all of those 4 things that I've mentioned, right? Praise, grit, gratitude, and goodness. They have to have a mixture of all of those things to give you this position that you have now. So you are defined by what you do tomorrow and how much you're able to do, right? And that